Hey, welcome back to this mini lecture. My name is Dino. This one's on culturally relevant pedagogy. Please feel free to like this content, comment, or subscribe to this channel if you like what you see. The focus of this video is applying culturally relevant pedagogy to the classroom. For those who didn't see the first video in the series, the definition of culturally relevant pedagogy is pedagogy that empowers students to maintain cultural integrity while succeeding academically. That's by Ladson-Billings. If you have the chance, she's the biggest name in this concept and in this part of education. Similar to this, there are more classroom examples from my classrooms that I've used, and then also I want you to, there in the previous video that deals with CRP, there are other examples. One is to depict many cultures with media. Here you would find age-appropriate media outlets from different cultures and languages to use in your curriculum. There's a ton of great, especially like in English language. There's great stuff from the Netherlands, Germany, the States, Canada, other ones. These outlets can be used to teach a differing perspective on a current or historical event. The ones I like, VPRO in the Netherlands, DW in Germany, PBS the US, again, middle of the road type of stuff. CBC in Canada, et cetera, BBC. Other specific people I've used in class are Ferrari, Zizek, and Ladson-Billings, who's in this one. They're from various different cultures and they have different voices. By depicting people with media that are diverse, it helps to include alternative voices and ideas that might be missing from your classroom and help reflect who your students are. Unfortunately, this can take some time to find if you're not into international media. It can also take time to curate them and share the media. You want to learn about your students. That's always good, isn't it? Kick the school year off with exercises that help you get to know your students. Distribute surveys or questionnaires that allow your students to share a bit more about their backgrounds and their learning styles. With these responses, you can go into the school year with a complete picture of your classroom makeup. In my class, I often have a discussion board where people write about their experiences and histories, and this gives them to do it on their own terms. I actually have my students do an adolescent profile in one of my education classes where they go into classrooms and they ideally find an adolescent in their teacher training program and do a profile on them to get to know them better through interviews, observations, etc., etc. This allows your class members to better know one another, whether you're a teacher with your students or among students, or students are in a teacher training program who might want to know who they're working with. Some of the challenges that you need to encourage students to treat information with maturity and discretion. They almost always rise to the occasion, but you may want to remind them of that when you start. Gamifying lessons could be useful. It's hugely popular amongst school-age children and some older ones who are into gaming, and there's a lot of them. You might want to consider gamifying your lessons. This is a popular tactics that includes offering reward badges or setting certain standards for new levels students can move up to for certain projects or proficiencies. Again, this is from the University of California, San Diego. I've used Kahoot within a classroom. It's an interesting platform. It's fun. It's visual. It has sounds. Students like it for the most part that I've seen. What I normally do to make this somewhat operational is I have it later in the specific class. So if people they don't do a reading, or they don't watch a pre-video, or they missed the previous class, by doing it with just the content you covered, it makes it more like everyone who attends who's still there at the end can challenge them, and it's not unfair. The positives is it provides an external motivation to do well among your peers, as well as excitement for those like gaming. It can also help change the class base, so it's not the same old. Some of the challenges your internal motivation. Ideally, students are just motivated to learn on their own. It also takes time to find, curate, and lead these games. Other examples that I haven't used specifically is involving parents with take-home letters. I should have done this when I was a K-12 teacher, but I didn't know about it, so I didn't think to do it. Here you open the door to parent participation at the start of the school year when starting a unit or trying an education tool for the first time. Parents can provide cultural context and support and will appreciate being kept in the loop regarding their child's education. Again, UC San Diego. I guess you could do this at the tertiary level, like at universities and colleges, but it seems a bit maybe. I get, that's something maybe to consider. I'm not sure if it's as popular. Again, something you could do is to do a comparative adolescent profile where you could profile a guardian or a student, or your students, or your students' parents, or you as a parent. So you profile yourself. That will help. Like, again, maybe like by doing that, finding out about these people through like a profile, it can help you get to know them, and sort of, it's kind of like in not so much a letter per se, but it's something similar to find out about people to get them involved. This can help motivate your external partners like guardians if you communicate to them outside of class. It also starts the year along strongly, so that not only are the students involved but also the parents. And maybe some of the issues are collaboration problems. If you're having problems collaborating with parents who may work differently than you, maybe have a little bit of a different view of education. It also obviously takes time to write these take-home letters, share them, or if you're doing an adolescent profile where you're like something similar to that, where you're doing a profile of a guardian, the students, your students' parents, you as a parent, etc., that can be a bit complicated and take time. Some final takeaways and questions. These are the various takeaways. These are all the different examples you could use. Leveraging stories, encourage students' projects ideas, experiment with peer teaching, interview students, integrate relevant world issues, leverage student cultural capital, depict many cultures with media, learn about students, gamify lessons, involve parents with take-home letters. I guess the overall question is, how do you balance cultural integrity while succeeding academically with curriculum demands? Like, it's ideal if you can do this and integrate different cultures, etc. It might be more confusing about how to do this with maybe basic like science or mathematics or classes where some of these tactics do not seem as easy to do. That was culturally relevant pedagogy part 2 of at least 2 parts. My name is Dino. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like this video. Please feel free to comment on it, whether you like CRP, whether you liked any of the examples involved. Do you have any of your own CRP examples that you could share with any other viewers? And finally, please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see similar content. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.